Hello there, gamers. The wizard is here. So I'm going to be going through my friend's game that he made. Murder mystery kind of thing. I'll show you what the game is. It's private, so he has to invite you. Lights out. Now, if you ever want to play this, just friend me right here. I'll most likely invite you to it. Pretty fun, but I'll walk you through it. Like the basic gameplay, all the roles, stuff like that. So we got all the roles right here. Still kind of a work in progress. The first role we have is the guest, which is like an innocent. Discover identity of the murderer, and vote them out to win. Pretty simple. Next up, the detective. Each night they pick someone to check. You check their role, and if the game master nods their head, that means they're the murderer. If they shake their head, that means they're an innocent person. The doctor. Each night they can pick someone to protect from the murder, meaning if the murderer attacks them, nothing happens. They can't save the same person twice in a row. They can only save themselves once per game. So, that being said, they can also cure someone from the plague, which we will get to that later. Next up, the twins. There's two of them. Two. The twins know who each other are, and if one is killed, so is the other, same being protected, voted out, etc., etc. The gambler. They roll a dice up to 3 times per game. If they roll 1, they die. 2 can check a roll. 3 can be protected. 4, they get framed as a murderer as the detective. From the detective. 5, they can't vote, and then they 6 vote twice. That's all the innocent rolls right now. Next up, we got the evil ones. We got the murder, kill everyone else, and avoid being discovered to win. The lawyer knows who the murderer is, and they have to defend them and pretend that they're innocent and prevent them from being voted out to win. The hacker stop one person each night from using their ability. Basically, if a hacker targets a doctor can't heal someone, for example. The plague. Infect all the guests to win. Anyone that infected that uses a role on another player is also infected. So it kind of is like a chain reaction, kind of. The doctor can save someone from the plague, but yeah. Trickster. For 3 nights, you set up a track. If the murderer decides to kill the trickster, trickster becomes the new murderer, and the murderer dies. Stalker. The first night you pick someone to stalk. The second night you know their role, and they know they're being stalked and stuff. On the third night, if they're not protected, they will die. Pretty chill. Those are all the evil roles. Now we got the VIP, which is our first neutral. At the start of the game, you get to place a bet on who you think the murderer is. If you get it correct and you're at the end of the game, you win solo. The doppelganger, my personal favorite role of this game he made. At the start, pick someone, and when they die, you take over whatever role they have. So if the doppelganger decides to pick the murderer, for example, the murderer gets voted out, the doppelganger becomes the new murderer. You know what I'm saying? Clown. All they have to do is get voted out to win. Simple as that. It's like the jester from Among Us, if you really think about it. The judge. During the voting part, if you feel like that the guests are voting someone out wrong, and you don't want to vote them out, you can override their vote and veto it. The judge also cannot be voted out for, but once the judge is discovered, it's kind of public information. The spirit. When they're voted out or murdered, they can pick one living house guest and publicly reveal their role. Then lastly is the mole. At night, the first night, you can pick one person and publicly reveal their role. They have to make it to the end of the game to win. So unlike the clown who wants to get voted out, the mole wants to last to the end. Once they're at the end of the game, if they're still standing, they win. Alrighty, how to play this game. You see all these rooms. All these rooms. 1 through 10. So, say the murder is in number 1. The host will go into that game, and they have a little number board right here. So say number 1 wants to pick number 8, they'll point. The host will let them know that they saw it, move on, blah 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 blah. This goes on to all the roles are selected, and then in the morning, everybody wakes up, they figure out what happened, then either go through the kitchen right here, which I had to delete for some storage reasons, but that's normally a kitchen right there, or the living room, which if you go through the living room, I'm going to use my maker pen to travel through here, we've got a little voting room. Everyone sits down and discusses. Now you can skip the vote. More than half the people have to raise their hands in order to skip the vote. Once the vote's skipped, everyone goes back up to their rooms. If it's not skipped, everyone will vote someone out. Whoever has the most amount of votes is eliminated. Now, I will say this. If there's a tie, everyone will re-vote. However, I have this little rule where if both the twins are tied together, they just both lose, honestly. But yeah, hopefully you give this game a try. It's a lot of fun. My friend made it. Like I said, you can either friend me or him. I don't know if he's online or not. Or friend the big P right here. Anyways, that's all for this video. I just want to do a quick introduction before I start making more mystery videos in this game. Toodles.